Hey guys, welcome back for another video. So we're at the end of week 1 of flower, right? And you know the plants are starting to stretch. They're stretching good. I added this piece of painter's tape here. I marked it in inches, you know, all the way up to the top of the light. I can keep an eye on, you know, my light distance from my canopy and then, you know, kind of keep an eye on how the plants are stretching. Right now I got this light set at 50% power. It's 24 inches away from the top of the canopy. I figure that should be pretty good. You know, we're kind of trying to keep it weak a little bit so that it helps encourage the stretch, you know. Guys, another thing, you know, like my reservoir change is due and it's been 14 days. The plants have drank 10 gallons of water, you know. They brought my ppm, my EC down to like 0.9 and my ppm down to like 460, I believe. So I'm going to be topping that off with 10 gallons of water, and I'm going to, you know, mix nutrients in there pretty rich, about 15 to 20% stronger than what I'd usually do, so I could get my EC back to where it needs to be. Right now I have a really good vegetative recipe in there, and I just don't want to switch over to bloom yet. You know, I'm still wanting to encourage that stretch, so it's important for me right now just to keep that, you know, grow recipe the way it is until, you know, the stretch is done, and then I'm gonna go ahead and switch it over to more of a bloom recipe. I'll give you guys a walk around, show you guys the reservoir change, and then give you a tour of the crop here. So check this out, guys. Okay guys, so I'm gonna pre-mix my nutrients in 5-gallon buckets before adding them to the reservoir. Like I said, guys, all I'm doing here is bumping the nutrients up to about 15 or 20% stronger than what I usually do. Now you can see here, this put me right around 520. I'd have preferred 550, but this will work. You know, when I think they're done with the stretch, we'll go ahead and start reducing the amount of grow and add more bloom. I ended up adding about 1 milliliter of pH down to hit 5.9. It was around 6.3. And guys, since we got some of the defoliating done here on the top, you know, I just went through and, you know, just picked off, pruned some of the lower branches out of here too, you know, just to encourage all the energy, the nitrogen, the, you know, the growth hormones, everything to hit the top of the plant, you know. I don't want to be doing this during flower, you know, I just don't want to stress them out too much. So you guys can see the yellowing starting to happen, so that's a good indication that they're entering flower, you know. So hopefully by next week, you know, the calyx will be, you know, stacking tight. We'll start to see some bud development on top. So stay tuned, guys, and, you know, I appreciate you all being here. We're kind of readjusting LST clips here, you know, just to keep the canopy the same height. And, you know, I love this grow, guys. The system's amazing, super easy to use. Best system I've ever used in my life. And then, you know, the plants are phenomenal. I can't believe how bad this fucker stinks, you know. This plant stinks so bad. I cannot wait to smoke some of this. It's going to be fire. Appreciate y'all. Take care.